One way of solving a lot of problems that we've got in this country is letting a person feel that they're important, feel that they're somebody. And a man can't get himself together until he know who he is and be proud of what and who he is and where he come from.
Salam, this is your brother, knowledge.SELAM. I hope everyone is doing well and everyone is safe. I'm here to try to drop some knowledge, drop a couple understanding, try to fix a couple misunderstandings that I thought it was true. So, as an Ethiopian, I always questioned, where does my name Ethiopia come from? Where does our name Ethiopian come from? What does it mean? So I would ask people and they would be like burnt face. I'll look it up. It would come from the Greek word Ethiopians, meaning burnt face or land of burnt face or place of burnt face. And I just, for some reason, I didn't believe that's the truth. So I went and got me an etymology book and then I looked it up. So the word, I broke down the word. So Theo meaning God. So if you find the word Theo, like your pastor, your preacher, is a theologist, meaning theologist. You know what I'm saying? He's a theologist, study of God. You can find it in monotheism, meaning one God. Polytheism, more than one God. Atheism, a meaning without, and without the meaning God. So the word the. So then I understand that part. So then I went and broke down opia. You can find the word opia in the utopia. The word utopia meaning the one about the book of a perfect place. But the funny thing is, utopia is really saying not a place, meaning it's not a place that exists. The Ethiopia is supposed to symbolize a place that is a perfect place, but then the whole word, the funny part is, means it does not exist. So, but the whole point is, opia means a place. So, I mean, you put those two together, it basically says God's place. Ethiopia means God place. And that's something to really, really understand, because the ancient Egyptians, when they were trading with us, you could find it on their walls, where they called our land the land of the gods. In the papyruses of Hunefra and the books of the dead, you could find that, which they speak about Punt, where they come from, the land of the gods, to Netra. They speak of all that. So it made a lot of sense, since the Greeks have to go through the Egyptians to get to us. So of course they were telling them about the people in the south. You understand? Another thing I wanted to address was our flag. You understand? Our flag, a flag is a symbol, it's an identification, a banner. It's to identify you and to unite you under one nation. So when you have a flag, people see you as our flag. So I looked at our flag and tried to understand what the meaning was about it. Everyone just looked at a flag and, okay, that's Ethiopia's flag or whatever. But there's a meaning behind it. If you look at a spectrum, a light spectrum, meaning like when you look at a star, depending on what kind of light it gives off, you can tell what the component, what is it made out of. So you can look at a star and it'll have, you know, like a certain color, and you'll be like, okay, this has more hydrogen, this has more of that. So colors give off a certain, you can use colors to measure certain things, and so there's an order of colors in the light spectrum. It goes red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet. The acronym for that would be Roy G. Biv, if you want to memorize it. So these numbers, it goes from the frequency, from, you know, from the strength wise, from red to violet. So that also like the temperature. So our flag is green, yellow, or gold. I call it gold because gold is like, in its purest element, in its purest form, gold is actually yellow. And I believe gold represents it better because of the richness of the land and the richness of the culture. You understand? So you could find gold, the color gold, in almost every African flag. You could find the red, green, and yellow or gold all over Africa. You can find it within like the ancient times of Africa. So it is not a new color. There was a science behind it. There was a reason our people had it. There's a science. It's not just for random reasons. There's a purpose. Everything's done with an order. Everything is a mathematical, scientific step, meaning it goes 1, 2, 3. It doesn't go 1, 3 because it would just mess up the order of things. There's order. So, and then the funny thing, I looked it up, and the symbol for gold is AU. What is AU? AU is African Union. So as you can see, it's not, you understand, it's not anything new. They knew these things. So back to the flag. So based on the color frequency and the color spectrum, there's you can code. There's a color code. There's electronic color codes that computer engineers use, or even any electronic engineers use when they put in the system and all that. Instead of putting numbers, they use the colors. So there's a code. So our color would be green, yellow, or gold. We're gonna talk about green, gold, and red. So red will have the number of red, meaning like it's a substitute for 2. So red is 2. All right, remember that. And our other color is green, which is 5. And then the color gold is -1. So if you add it and subtract those up, you get number 6. 2 plus 5 is 7 minus 1 is equals 6. You understand? So the number 6 has a lot of value. What is number 6? 6 is the day that God created man. In the Bible it says that God created man on the 6th day. So 6th day has a very symbolic, the number 6 has a very symbolic meaning. Meaning it's not even in the ancient times. Why did God create him on the 6th day? There's a lot of questions you gotta ask. There's a reason for all this. See, everything got a purpose. The number 6 is the atomic number for carbon and how much protons that carbon has. And carbon is one of the top 10 most abundant elements in the universe. And without carbon in the planet Earth, there will be no life, because all life is based on carbon. The reason for that is because carbon has about a certain amount of 4 electrons on its outer shell, which can bond with other elements, making it a molecule. A molecule is more than one atom that combine together. So if atom can do that, and the atoms that it bonds with become stable and can also bond with others, it creates a complex biological structure, making more complex beings like humans and whatever or not. So we can have a complex life. Look at Earth. Look at all the complex things on this planet Earth that we have. All that is carbon, and all that is because carbon can bond with other elements. Not only in carbon, but in even in geography, and any sailor will tell you there's 6 directions which you can travel in, which is the cardinal direction. They'll tell you it's north, south, east, west, and up and down. Those are called the cardinal points, and that's 6 ways you can travel. So the number 6 is just not just a number that from random. There's 6 has a certain metaphorical meaning to it as well. Look at the astronomical unit, the AU, meaning from the Earth to the Sun is how they measure things. Like from Jupiter to Earth will be a certain AU. So that the standard of measuring in space is by from the distance from the Earth, and the distance from the Earth to the Sun is 93 miles. 9 minus 3 is 6. You understand? So you see, those symbols are all over. So our ancestors, the people who picked those colors long time ago, thousands of years ago, didn't just do it to do it. There was a reason behind it. There was a science behind it. You understand? See, this right here is the original flag, the way it was really made. The first time that one of the first times that the flag was seen it was like that. As you can see, it's not It's not green, gold, red. It was red, yellow, green, following the light spectrum, the electromagnetic light spectrum. It went in order before it was changed. So just showing you how the original one looked. Remember, the red was on top. Well, I just thought it was something interesting to share with the people. Alright, man. I hope you guys have a good day. God bless. Be